Damn. What these guys do? Jesus Christ.
Slapping the shit out of him. Look at this.
He's just whacking them on the... And the guy's like, I don't want to let go of my motorcycle.
Play ball.
That's the, you know, this is a DUI checkpoint in India.
Is it really?
No, I don't know. That's what it is. They're making sure there's no drunk driving. That's how they test you. If you get up and start running, they know you're drunk. That's why they kept hitting you.
If you get up and start running, they know you're sober. Because the drunk guy will just be like, stop hitting me.
That's why they didn't hit the other. Maybe that's why they didn't hit the other guy. Yeah. That's true.
All right, guys. Well, welcome to Reaction Hour episode 7. I am Gian Perez. With me, as always, is Daniel Trujillo. And
it's the first video we got. Common sense. You know, I feel like sometimes if you're too smart, you might not have common sense. You know, because you're too analytical about everything and you overlook some things. This situation, however, I feel like is a little bit different because I don't know. Just go ahead and play the clip.
Look at this fucking jackass. Look at this fucking jackass.
Like, what is he doing? How did he miss? It's a drawbridge.
Smash his fucking boat. Oh, shit.
Look at the other boat.
Oh shit, there goes the top of his boat. There it goes. Oh my god.
Is there people in there?
Oh my fucking god.
Why do you keep going?
I see.
Shit.
My guess is the current's really strong right here.
Holy shit.
I mean, I'm assuming the current was strong. I think that's what it is. But
that
drop anchor. Drop anchor. If you know shit's that bad and you're like, you can't control the ship.
You didn't go through the
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying. What was he doing? I don't know. I mean,
I don't know what he was thinking.
That's.
I mean, you know, there is a problem with drunk sailing. I'm not.
No.
Like,
I believe
people
you
get
because
drunk
they don't
and go on their boats.
They don't look at it like a car.
No,
they
don't.
see the open ocean. What am I going to run into? Who am I going to run into?
Rocks.
Exactly. Other boats, people potentially,
yeah.
Depending on where you're at.
Fucking mermaids.
Maybe, or maybe you know what? Maybe
mermen.
Maybe they were filming a sex tape, and they weren't at the wheel.
And they just let it cruise.
They just fucked up. Yeah, they thought it was like, oh, we're just gonna. They probably did something where like, oh, let's center the boat. It'll just drift right in.
Right.
We don't have to worry
Not realizing that there's other factors involved.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a stretch. It's a stretch nonetheless. She's been scratching his car. That's the setup. Look at that. That's like, and so when I downloaded the video, it was like the caption for this on Instagram was like $7,000 in damage, or $3,000, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like, because she was scratching his car. That's apparently what he was doing. So
right.
He probably did something to cause her to do that. But what would a girl have to do for you to do that? Because I feel like there's nothing a girl could do, because I don't think he would get that mad. But I could be wrong.
For me to do something like that?
Like that. She's keying your car though, like that's the setup. Like you don't just randomly go over to her house and do that. Like,
yeah.
She's antagonizing you, but something had to have.
Had she keyed my car, like, and I saw her car there, I probably would have ran up and like kicked her door in or something. You know, I wouldn't have.
Would you keyed it back, like, or would you like actually?
I might have just ran up and kicked the shit out of her door or something. To do that, I mean, I've full disclosure, I saw this video already. But the first thing I thought of was, this guy must have done this before. Because how does...
Because he ran a jump and knew exactly...
Exactly. Like, you jumped and you're like, I'm like...
First thought is, I'm going to break her windshield.
Yeah, like, I'm going to stomp... Like, how do you know how much force it takes? Exactly. Like, I'm gonna jump through the moonroof and then I'm gonna stomp on the back one. Like,
it's kind of true, because I would never assume like I'm just gonna jump on this window so hard that it's gonna break it.
Right. Like the first, I feel like,
I would assume I wouldn't be able to.
I feel like everyone's first initial like reaction would be, number one, to push her, like push her away from your car.
He did push her.
Yeah, he did.
So he can get by her to smash her shit.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing you do is like you kick the side of the door, you jump on the hood maybe, but to like all three, I don't know.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, have you been in a situation like this? Not like this specifically where you've done something, but like had a crazy girlfriend to slash your tires or some shit?
I think I had, there was a girl, and it wasn't my girlfriend, but somebody left like a note. Like they didn't have the balls to like key the car, or they knew that the car didn't belong to me, it belonged to my dad.
So it was like, you're an asshole.
But they like, yeah, it was like they wrote like on the like there was dirt on the windshield. They wrote something on the windshield or something, and they left like a note. I forget, or they might have TP'd something. You know,
I've never had like.
You know, I did. One time my ex-girlfriend got me so pissed off that I broke my own windshield. Like she pissed me off. I got so
I have
mad.
one of those.
I punched my
too.
windshield and I cracked the windshield, and I was like, you know,
with her there or after?
With her in the car. Yeah, and she shut up after I broke my windshield.
I did the same thing.
That was a $300 mistake.
How'd you fuck your hand up?
Nah.
Oh well,
I must have hit it right on the sweet spot.
I did one too, and I punched the wall. I didn't even realize like I hit the wall that hard, and I broke the drywall in. Like it's still there. There's still the hole. And I'm like,
you didn't punch through it?
No.
You hit like a bitch.
Drywall.
Whatever. I don't know. Maybe I hit a stud or whatever they're called. I don't know. But anyway, like as soon as I did it, I'm like, oh my god, I'm that mad over this. This is stupid. Like it was an instant regret. Not only that, but then I was also like, my mom's totally gonna see this immediately.
So you put a poster over it?
No, I didn't do anything, but she saw it immediately, and I told her the truth. I was like, I just got so mad.
I was pissed.
But see,
well, I mean, better the drywall than the girl. So.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. But I feel like some people would twist that and say you're an angry person, you're gonna punch them. But it's like, if I wanted to, I would have.
Right.
Clearly, this guy wanted to do that. But anyway, so that out of the way. So the next two, we have two videos right now that do with Uber driving. Obviously,
okay.
That's what you do.
I'm a connoisseur.
That's, kind of
entrepreneur.
So my first question, are you this type of Uber driver? Play the clip.
Yeah? Yeah, let's get turned, baby! Fucking turn, boys! Yeah! Alright, boys. We're gonna drink tonight? Woo! Yeah! We're gonna get the ladies tonight? Yeah! And we ain't gonna take shit from anybody, boys! No way! Oh, consider this a brother boy! Yeah, brother boys!
I get a good tip.
Can you hear me?
So are you that kind of Uber driver?
No. No. When those guys get in my car and want to touch my radio, I'm immediately pissed off. Because I'm like, this guy's going to play some bullshit on my radio. He's going to touch the volume knob without asking.
Do you have anybody playing music like that? Like full blast? Like some house music?
Here in California, it's always hip-hop. Like, it's always Kendrick Lamar or Drake. That's it.
So you can tolerate it?
No, I can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and because it's like a bunch of white kids like shouting all the lyrics too, like, you know.
But they don't say the N-word.
No, they don't.
It's
hella funny.
Yeah,
they'll be like, they'll sing every single
fuck
word.
Fuck my bitch. And then suck my dick.
Yeah, when it gets to the end, boom. Completely get quiet. The whole car gets quiet, and I'm thinking like, there's no black people in the car right now.
You're not gonna say anything.
I'm not gonna say shit. You know, maybe I'll give you a 1 star afterwards. Who knows?
Fam, you good?
You would do a 1 star? You'd do him like that?
No,
that's fucked up.
No.
Okay, if you had to give this guy a rating though, let's say you just got back from the airport, right?
Yeah.
And this guy's like, "How was your fucking trip? Whoa, let's play something." And he's just fucking. Would you give him 5 stars?
No.
Or would you tell him to shut the fuck up?
If I was like in a bad mood or I just wanted a quiet ride, like, I mean, obviously I'm gonna.
If you're coming, let's say you're coming from the club though.
He's reading the crowd.
That's why I said let's say the club. Let's say you're bar hopping and this guy's.
I give him 5 stars for being an asshole. You know. It's no, that's not me. That'll never be me.
Oh my god, you're so funny.
Yeah, I know. Hey, we're going to 128 Maple Drive.
Motherfucker, I know that. You put the address in the app. Why are you telling me things I already known?
Excuse me?
Damn, mama. What's your name, baby?
Tiffany?
Tiffany, what are you doing with this piece of shit?
What the? Don't talk to my date like that, dude.
You look like you work at Baskin Robbins.
What the fuck are you saying, man?
You fucking look like you scoop pistachio and put rainbow sprinkles on it, you motherfucker.
I hate pistachio.
See, everyone hates pistachio. Pistachio is the bitch of ice cream world.
That's not true, man.
Fuck you.
What?
Tiffany, why do you go out with the pistachio bitch?
Well, pistachio really is the bitch of ice cream. Sorry, baby. What? Now it's just you and me.
Hey, don't call me Mr. Steal Your Girl for nothing.
So yeah, that's Instagram superstar Just So. I love him. I think his videos are funny. But so switching gears completely over here, going to the other side of the world now. We're gonna move on to India. So this clip was sent to us probably 3 weeks ago, and I just honestly, I forgot to put it in here. So there is a setup to this one. This was on a reality TV show. I don't know the ultra specifics, but so this is an actual real thing. And then there was an actual lawsuit. But the rules of this thing were the woman's going to berate the man, like just completely belittle him, destroy him.
Yeah.
But there's no physical contact. That's not exactly what happens here.
Right.
Are you sure? क्योंकि ऐसे लगता है ये लोग bad hairdo convention के लिए आए हैं.
This is in India too.
What the f is it with this stupid sideburns of yours? Are you in some sort of a time capsule 60s में पहुंच गए हो? What is it with those faces? What are you doing? What is that? These guys don't have tongues? No, really, they can't talk.
But see, this one bothered me.
No.
क्यों? देख के ही फट गई.
The editing's the best.
Idiot.
I haven't seen the beginning of it. I've seen like
These
the
guys
culmination
have no
of it.
life in them. I'm telling you guys something, you'll have absolutely no reaction. Okay. I guess I'm done over here. Thanks, guys.
Isha, I think तुम इन दोनों को अपना challenge क्यों नहीं दिखा देती?
There's not one word coming out of their mouth.
Actually, the thing is that we don't want to talk with you, actually. That's
Why don't you go and f off then?
you go?
How can you slap? How can you slap? How can she slap?
Shit.
How can she slap me? How can you slap me? What good?
Look at him fucking going into a fight.
Bastard! How did you enter?
Film crew.
You bastard! How did you enter? I'll fuck your brain right now! You fucking bastard! I'll fucking kill bastard!
This would be a great thing to watch, by the way.
Mother joke, branch.
How can she slap me, sir? How can she slap me? How can she slap me?
Now he's crying.
मारता अभी बहन के लोड़े मार बहन चुप
Just let it play out, Carlos. Crying in the background. All right, you could pause it. Okay, so there wasn't. So he actually sued her and he won because she violated the whole rules of
Right.
everything. She wasn't supposed to
Yeah.
slap him. Now,
See, the video I've seen is just like, she's like, why don't you go and fuck off then? And he goes, "Pah, you go. And then she slaps him and he slaps her back. And then you see the rest of it unfold. I didn't know it was like it
was a game show?
Well, I figured it was some sort of like.
but you didn't know like that was the whole purpose.
Yeah,
was
I
to
didn't-
trigger a response out of him.
And she triggered a response.
I mean, that's like, I don't know, because when I see that, I'm like, fuck, man. Nothing she would have said would make me want to.
Right.
I mean, I'm just thinking, like, what would be the worst things you could say about me? Being
Yeah.
fat, brown, like going after. I mean, what can you really, like, how can you really destroy someone?
Your ugly ass.
Unless you know, like, so and so left you or
Tell
something
you that you
like
love
that.
Star Wars Episode 8.
That might be getting me to say something. That's true. Maybe she just sucks at interrogation things.
Tell you about Indiana Jones Episode 4.
How it's terrible. It's the worst one in the. It's
Just-
worse
yeah.
than Temple of Doom.
I mean, I've seen you get triggered over different.
no, I know.
Nothing
That's,
personal.
I know.
You get
That's,
triggered over.
that's what I'm saying. But anyway, yeah, no, I never saw the video. I think it's crazy. I mean, I think it's crazy that we kind of watch these people live. Like, this is what we care about. We want them to force drama. Like, we don't even want to see a story sometimes. We just want to see the dramatic moments,
mean-
and that's it. Like, we don't even care for setup.
It all started with The Real World on MTV.
I know,
and
Real
then
World.
It just kind of like.
MTV kind of just, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
16 and Pregnant, all, like, they have everything. Teen Life or
But then,
whatever.
like,
those-
people watch Big Brother.
I know,
you
Big.
know.
I dated a girl who just was obsessed with Big Brother, and yeah. But anyway, but again, staying in this part of the world. So last week we showed some dramatic Indian TV clips. I don't know what we can call this segment, by the way, but we gotta keep it up. Like, this has to be something where people are constantly sending us stuff. This one's obvious. This is the best editing. That's my favorite part.
Just watching these with no context just makes them that much better.
It's a fan edit.
All the flips and shit. Hey man, this adds production value though. All right, so pause.
That was like a variation of what was the movie with
Wanted with
yeah,
Angelina
Wanted,
Jolie.
Yeah. Fuck her from the bullet.
So just throw the fucking whole gun. I've kind of noticed this about the Indian clip so far. And it's a very, 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 very weird concept in filmmaking because it's kind of the biggest oxymoron of them all. I actually can't even think of another oxymoron like this in terms of filmmaking techniques. I actually want to hear what you think. Maybe there is one. But what Indians love to do, and you're going to see in this clip, so spoilers, quote unquote, they slow down time to where like Flash type slow down time where you're going to see Flash do a bunch of things as the bullet travels by, because you're going to see right now. But at the same time, what they're inserting in the slowed down space is like real time. So like somehow they're slowing time down, but also doing extreme amounts of shit that cannot possibly happen within this. Because like last week we saw with the guy falling.
Right.
Like there's so much running and they did a slide and shit and bitch fell like 10 feet. Like that doesn't make any sense. You know, it was a small, like, they extended this window, but inside it, they played out like 10 minutes worth of content. It's fucking, like, what other film techniques are there that are that much of an, that's an oxymoron.
Yeah.
It literally makes no fucking sense.
It's contradictory, for sure.
This one's good. It's a little long, but it's worth it. She woke up the guy that's right next to her. Just wait. He's on the other side of the country.
Where's the bullet?
So the bullet's still coming.
Wow, it's a medical miracle.
It's a medical miracle. No fucking sense. Throw in the product placement.
Who's the bullet going towards?
The girl. He's gonna shoot the girl. That's the one who screamed.
What?
This is what's happening during the bullet.
And he takes a steamroller?
Yeah.
Like the slowest vehicle possible.
Does the bullet have a casing on it still?
It does.
Now he shows up. Everyone else is slow.
Still not there.
How did the bullet fire? He's knocking the bullet down. How did that even happen?
When I was in high school, I wrote like a script about the slowest moving bullet. Like
someone shoots someone.
Like someone shoots the bullet, and the bullet's like keeps coming for you, and then like you know it's coming, so you hide from it. And then the bullet would come to your front door and like try to wear a disguise, like a bullet with like a mustache and a trench coat.
Dude, we should make this into a skit. This is a cartoon.
This is what reminded me. And the bullet would always come for you, and it'd knock on your door, like, and try to like trick you into getting shot in the face, you know. And so you're always like looking like avoiding the bullet, and it's always like
it could go on forever.
But it's like personifying the bullet itself. You know,
and then,
this isn't what this
and then what happens? The guy gets old enough and eventually gets shot.
I never finished the idea. You know, it was you know, the idea was like once the bullet got like with a certain proximity, then it would speed up and get you. But it had to get close.
Oh,
to
it had to get to that like zone.
Right.
Once it crossed that boundary, you could have like a spy versus spy type comic book. You know, the Mad comic.
Yeah,
book,
where they're like coming up with all these different weapons
to try to
like,
kill each other. So I think this one might be my favorite right here. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hello, doctor. Sampunish Babu. Ekkudunaru?
No subtitles, but you'll get it.
Condition chala serious ga undi. Meer thoraga randi.
15 నిమిషాల్లో మీ దగ్గర ఉంటాను డాక్టర్. ఓకే డాక్టర్. థ్యాంక్ యూ డాక్టర్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
What is that? What do you think that is?
Sour Patch Kid.
Furrows, what do you think that is?
I have no idea.
I know what it is. Don't. I know, but what do you think it is? That's his wife, by the way. She's having open heart surgery.
Is that supposed to be a heart?
He just got hit with the metal pipe. Again. Oh my god, it's so loud. I got it, don't worry about it.
ఇంకా దేవుడే కాపాడాలి.
Oh, so he's spray painting a fake heart? It's made of metal.
It's made of something.
And it's as big as an entire torso.
Just watch.
Where's the pipe? కండలక్కడ పెరగవురా.
What the
Wait, what?
Dude, is this guy actually this black? Or is he makeup?
He is. He is.
No.
I think he is. I would guess that he is. Because the guy in the passenger seat is also that dark.
That's the opposite of mine.
Pull out an axe.
Is he an orc? Shit. Oh shit. No way. How many miles was that?
These stunts are performed by professionals. Don't try it at home.
What's that?
I don't know.
Sampu, you are a genius.
ఎవరు సరి సంపు?
Banisa. Premaki Banisa.
Why would you spray paint a heart, a fake heart
that played a light show at the end?
Yeah.
I don't
He's a
know.
genius. He's able to make fake hearts and spray paint them.
It was funny.
Just
when
seems sanitary.
When I watched this to like see if this was an appropriate video, I almost cried. Like I don't know why, I just could not stop laughing.
I don't know whatever that character's name was, but that axe at the end was ridiculous. I will say one thing though. That guy totally could have been your Mexican uncle, which leads us into our next segment.
The shirt he was wearing from Kohl's.
Yes, Latino or not. All right, so today all of these people are entertainers of some sort.
This one's easy.
Okay.
This one's Latino.
Are you sure that Benjamin Bratt is Latino?
He plays Latinos.
He's in Blood In, Blood Out.
Yeah, he plays Latinos.
Okay, well you are correct. He is half Latino. His mom is a Quechua Indian from Peru.
He's Indian?
From Peru.
Oh, that Indian.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the Peru part. I just heard Indian.
And his dad was German.
Oh.
So he's half Latino, but he
plays Latinos.
Well, because he looks Latino.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
He looks like a stereotypical Latino. He always plays Mexican. He's not a Mexican.
That I didn't know. Next. Also someone who plays Latinos all the time.
And they look similar to Benjamin.
I'm gonna have to go with the gut, man. Latino. I just because that's what I see him as. I don't see him as anything else, so it's hard for me to like. It's kind of a not a cheat, but it's kind of not fair.
Okay, well you would be wrong. Lou Diamond Phillips is half Filipino.
Would never know.
Not Latino.
I can't argue with you at all because, like I said, the only things I've seen him in are when he plays Latinos. So
he plays Native Americans as well.
All right. Okay. Next. I don't fucking know. Who is that? She looks familiar.
So this is Phoebe Cates.
What movie was she in?
The most famous role she's had was Fast Times in Ridgemont High. She's in the infamous pool scene.
Got it. That's why she looks familiar. I'm gonna say Latino.
Okay, you would be incorrect. She is of Russian Jew, and her mom is a quarter Chinese.
So Asian.
So that's
She's
where
Asian.
that's where she gets that little bit of flavor.
75% Asian.
Yeah.
I don't. Who the fuck is this?
Jesus Christ.
Supergirl.
This is Terry Hatcher.
You heard of the name?
She was the lead on Housewives, Desperate Housewives.
I never
she was
watched
also,
that shit.
She got her. She started off on
Latino, I guess. 'Cause she's. I don't know. To me, like, I don't know. I've never seen her in anything, and having a Superman costume doesn't like help.
She was in Lois and Clark. That was her first role. Where she
Never watched it.
All right. Well, she's not.
I know Dean Cain is.
She is not Latina.
Superman.
She is a quarter Choctaw and a quarter Syrian.
Got it. So that's the twist. They're all Indians, like native, indigenous people.
Something like that. Let's go on to the next. So far you got one right.
Not.
You know who this is.
Yeah, I know. Not a Latino.
Okay.
I've never really thought about it. I'm gonna be honest, and I don't know like how he presents himself in actual real life. I've only seen him acting because wrestling to me doesn't count.
What do you think his real name is?
I don't know.
It's Dave Bautista.
Well, see, what I was gonna say is the tribal tattoos, for me, makes me think not Latino.
Well,
they're not tribal tattoos.
You
but
are correct. What would have given it away is the Filipino flag on his shoulder. His dad is Filipino.
Got it. Well, Bautista's a Spanish name, though.
Well, that's because the Spanish colonized the Philippines for a few hundred years.
But who's Batista? What's the dictator? It's not Spain.
Batista, you're thinking of is it Cuba? Was Batista in Cuba or Batista in?
I don't know. Anyway, but my point is it wasn't in the Philippines. There's another Batista that's Spanish.
Yes.
But yeah, to me it's the tattoos. But I've never seen him in anything else other than that.
Yep, he's Filipino. You got that right. All
Next.
right, let's go. Next one.
Oh wow. I'm gonna say Latino.
You would be incorrect. Scott Hall.
Is he white?
Formerly known as Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, while living in Florida, came up with his Razor Ramon
because of the Cubans?
Because of Tony Montana and the Cubans in Miami. Last but not least.
I have no idea. I'm going to say... I can't even look at the background. It looks like X Factor.
Did you learn your lesson from 2 weeks ago?
I don't even know what it is. So I'm going to say she is not a Latino.
You would be correct.
She looks black.
Actually, she's not black. She's Filipino and Hawaiian.
Okay. Islander makes sense too, though, because they're dark. They can be dark.
Yes. That's Nicole Scherzinger. She was a singer for...
That's her?
Yep.
That's a terrible picture.
That's the one that looked the most ethnically ambiguous, and it's like the most coherent. So, but yeah.
I thought she was hot. I was like, who's this? I was gonna say, who's this man? I'm not even kidding. Like, who is this man? I wasn't even making. Anyway, a lot of things happened this week. You know, that dealt with racism in this country. I feel like I wouldn't say it's a lot, but I feel like in terms of what was most relevant this week, it was racist videos, white people being racist.
Yeah, there was a few.
There was a few. This one being I feel like this one is the hottest topic out of all of them. There's actually an update to this story, but you know, for those out there who haven't seen it, let's just watch it.
What I'm wearing, guys.
I hate the music, so sorry. I hate playing these things. Why aren't you playing?
What I'm wearing. Can you please get away from me? Can you please get away from me? Well, first of all, the United States owns Puerto Rico, so we're part of the United States. We don't own Puerto Rico. Okay. Okay. Well, what's your point, sir? My point is, why are you wearing that? Because I can.
Would you
Officer,
deck this guy?
I'm renting this area, and he's harassing me about the shirt that I'm wearing.
And you get in trouble.
I did rent it. I have a permit for this. Right, so can you please step away from me, sir?
See, like, don't you think that's threatening distance?
Yeah, absolutely. The cop's there. He's not doing anything.
That's what's so annoying about this whole thing, man.
He's just kind of chilling.
Not even paying attention. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's talking to her.
Okay. Okay.
You should not be wearing that in the United States.
I mean, the guy's obviously drunk.
Yes, I am.
Clearly.
a
Look how
citizen.
close that
Can
is,
you please
man.
get away from me? Can you please get
And this
away
is,
from me?
for those that are watching, this is all because
I
she's
feel
wearing a
highly
Puerto Rican
uncomfortable.
flag
Can you please
shirt.
grab him? Please, officer.
Look at her, clinging to the officer to grab this guy, and he does nothing. That shit pisses me off. That's a That you don't shouldn't be fired, but that's suspension right there. No pay.
He's not even grabbing
For like a month. Look at this, still coming at her.
Can you please get away from me?
So he's gonna eat her out?
I'll go down on
Can you
you.
please get away from me? Can you please get away from me?
Puerto Rico. You should wear. Hey, calm down.
Yeah, now the cop comes when the big brown guy comes.
Officer, I'm renting. I
Watch.
paid for a
Fucking
permit for
dumb.
this area. I do not feel comfortable with him here. Is there anything you can do?
Doesn't say anything.
He said he's smiling.
We're not gonna sit around and be.
He probably agrees with the dude, that's why. Look at this, now the cop all of a sudden.
Okay, well, how come you're saying something when he's going up, but when he was coming up to me, you didn't do anything?
Yep. After he gets called out on it.
I saw somebody, they sent a link and then
What's your you're Puerto Rican.
I'm Puerto Rican. You know what this I don't get mad. This doesn't make me mad. It makes me
Not even at the cops?
No, it makes me sad. It makes me sad that like this is okay. Like someone's whatever's wrong with his life, he feels like whatever idea someone else gave him, because he didn't come up with this of his own volition. Like whatever shit he made him feel the need, to go and do something like that. I mean, the guy's not uneducated. Obviously, he doesn't realize, and it just like
he is uneducated.
He's uneducated. He doesn't know what the hell. Like he has no idea what Puerto Rico really is. Not to mention that when you do something like this, you're saying, so if I go on vacation, I just got back from vacation from Cabo in Mexico, and I buy a shirt that says Cabo, Mexico on it, I can't wear that shirt. You know, is it because of the flag was on it? You know, the flag which is inspired from the American flag.
Captain America. It's Captain America's
it's Captain America.
Outfit.
Yeah, you know. It's just like I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what I would have done in that situation. Like, it's hurtful. It's hurtful that you would.
I mean, you have a sister.
Like,
what if someone was coming up on your sister like that?
No, definitely. Like, and I see that, like, the cop steps in. Like, the cop doesn't do shit either. You know
At
what I mean?
all.
At
Like,
all?
not even like, hey, man,
It's not even
let's
like
bring it over here.
Yeah, he didn't even say a word until other dudes stepped in. Like, and he just sat there and let it go down. Like, was he a new cop? And I know, I saw what happened. Like, after the cop he did get suspended. You know,
good.
He did,
So he got charged. He got charged with an assault charge, and now also he's getting 2 counts of felony hate crime.
Yeah,
I think it's justified. Do you think that's justified?
I think
for being drunk.
I think it might be a little too much, the felony part. You know, I don't know. I mean,
well, what if he has a history?
Oh, he quit the police force.
Good. Fuck him. Fuck you. You don't deserve to be a cop.
Now,
I hope he doesn't run off and fucking kill people.
I don't want to turn this into a complete political thing, but I feel like, I don't know if it's because of the internet, because everybody has cell phones now. Has this shit been going on this whole time and we just haven't like picked up on it because we didn't have the technology to do so? Or is it that it really is because...
Do you feel like older people argue more on the internet because they're not as like used to dealing with internet trolls or whatnot? They feel more inclined to like write out their long thoughts and get into arguments with each other?
I think part of it is like you got people that have way more time on their hands. Maybe they're retired. So like now they're letting things take them personally, and this makes them feel validated. But this kind of shit, like I was back to my point, like has this stuff just been happening this whole time, or is it elevated because of who's our president right now?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I really do think it's both. Because 10 years ago, we didn't have as many iPhones out in the world. We just didn't.
Right.
I think we had our first one. So like, unless you had an iPhone or you were by your computer, I don't think there was a YouTube app to like upload to YouTube when it first came out.
It would still take forever to upload something.
Exactly.
As well, yeah.
So like, you know, you might see a trending clip because it was the most outrageous clip that actually was able to pierce through the internet, and like, because back in the day, if you were a YouTube creator, all you wanted to do is create viral videos.
Yeah.
You didn't give a shit about like, well, we need to make a channel where we make consistent content. Like that wasn't even people's minds. It was just about how can we get the most views?
Yeah.
Because they used to pay you on the views. And So now I feel like everyone has their phone. Everyone has their phone. Even homeless people have phones.
Yeah, you can capture.
They may not have internet, but you
can capture just about anything now, like immediately.
Security cameras.
But I still feel like there's definitely elevated racist stuff going on. Like there's people not saying these things that they were saying before. They weren't as.
Good thing you brought that up right there. That's a good segue.
The protests that are happening, like the whole Charlottesville thing. That wouldn't have happened 10 years ago, regardless.
That's another good point that you brought up. So let's pin that, and then let's go to what you just said with people aren't saying things. So go ahead and roll it.
Go back to your fucking country. I don't care what you say. It's none of your fucking business.
She's talking to brown people.
First of all, motherfucker, in this country, we have what's called the First Amendment rights. Okay? Which I can say whatever the fuck I want.
No, you can't.
Okay?
I mean, you can.
Maybe these motherfuckers don't know.
You're gonna deal with the consequences.
Stop. Do not do anything. Stop. Don't do anything.
This would make me laugh. If she did this shit to me.
Why did you then please grab your mother. Stop. Grab your mother. That is your mother. Grab her.
This is the woman. Stop touching me. She won't stop touching me.
Grab your mother.
I would also sue the fuck out of her too. There's 3 clips of this lady actually.
It's a fucking joke.
Same bus ride. Yep.
Hi, how you doing, sweetheart? Love you. I love all you illegal immigrants. You do wonders for our country.
What's the fucking context? Where did this take place at?
I'm not sure. I just know that she's talking to some Mexicans.
Shit.
Or they're Latinos.
Fuck you and you nigga fucking people. Okay? Get the fuck out of my country.
There's no black people on the bus because right then and there somebody would have got
She got clapped.
Yeah.
So okay, it's just weird that you brought up because I do feel like she's being empowered, because I also feel like she's seeing other people's videos that the liberal left are like ridiculing, but they're like, no, I'm with the guy, the lawyer guy who was getting mad at the cashiers for not speaking. Like, why are people getting mad at him? He's a real American. He's standing up for what I believe in. And so I feel like she looked drunk too. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't think so.
She's slurring.
But which just brings out that inner.
I mean, and she's another person who's not educated. Obviously, not educated person. But
I think she's seeing.
I mean, this is and it just for if you don't live here, you don't know, or you do live here and you don't know. America does not have an official language, which makes it legal to speak any language you want to, anywhere, at any time.
To anyone.
To anyone. There's no mandate that says you don't have to learn how to speak English here because there's no national language here.
But it is ingrained in the society.
Yeah, it is. Well, because the people that colonized the states spoke English. That's why English is the.
And then when you came here, because this is my family, because that's why I don't know Spanish right now. When you came here, they wanted you to blend in. They wanted you to be American. They being the immigrant, exactly. Yeah. The immigrant family. So they would say Spanish at home, English outside.
Right.
Don't bring one word of Spanish outside. And so those generations grew up.
And I'm not going to say that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's just a different perspective. For whatever reason, I think
it's great.
I don't know why there was a cultural change where someone said that, you know what, I don't need to assimilate. I can do whatever I want. Maybe it's because of the rise in population, like so many people moving.
I think that's what it is.
To a certain neighborhood where it didn't matter as much, or if the level of racism back then was so heavy that you tried to hide who you were so that you didn't have to deal with the racism. I mean, there's different elements to it, and I mean, we'd have to talk to someone from that generation to really know what.
It's a little bit of both, I would say. I think everything's a little bit of both, but it's just I don't know. It's just
It's stupid.
It is. It is.
It's ignorant behavior.
So the thing that you pinned, or I said you should pin, is just has to do with this, and it's allowing, because you were saying you shouldn't be able to say what you want to say, blah blah blah. Does this scare you? That's my question.
Hi, my name's Art Jones.
Arthur Jones is running for Congress in Chicago's 3rd District.
Oh, and why won't they call him a Nazi?
Listen, I wouldn't be in this if I didn't think I could win.
He's also one of at least 8 white nationalists running for state or federal office this year, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center.
I consider myself a white racialist.
Jones was a member of the American Nazi Party who denies the Holocaust ever happened.
6 million Jews. Ridiculous.
He's also campaigning to keep Chicago's neighborhoods 90% white.
I think most white people want a white neighborhood.
Do you think
Definitely
that
reduce the
black
crime,
people
though.
are genetically inferior?
And that's not
The
me
average
being
IQ of a
racist.
black person is about 20 points lower than the average IQ of a white person. Okay?
I went to Harvard.
All right. And you got a lot of white blood in you, too.
Some white blood. I'm African
Well,
American.
that's where your intelligence is coming from, I think.
You think it comes from my white side?
I think so.
20,000 people voted for Jones in the March primary. And even though he ran uncontested, he'll be on the Republican ticket in November. A fact many locals find unbelievable.
And you want my vote?
Let's be civil.
No, I don't want your vote.
Okay, you're not gonna
I don't
get
want idiots like you voting for me.
But Jones's supporters say he's exactly the kind of candidate they want to see in Washington.
Even Abraham Lincoln believed that the races should stay separated. He said there's too great a difference between the black and white races that could possibly live together.
Do you feel that way?
I feel that way too.
Anti-hate groups say the number of white
He did
nationalists
say that,
running
though.
for
He's
office
100%
across
right
the
on that.
country this year is higher than
absolutely
ever
said that.
before. Many of them running on the Republican ticket, like Patrick Little.
This monstrous nature of the Jewish people must be known to the public.
You think Jews are monsters?
As a group, they are definitely behaving as a monster, 100%.
Little is running for Senator Dianne Feinstein's seat
Good
in
luck on
California
that.
and blames Jews for America's problems.
They do the bidding of a foreign power that has committed terrorist attacks against this country.
He says President Trump is talking to people like him.
Even though he's the
Dog
biggest
whistled about
fucking
globalists.
Israel
I didn't
supporter.
understand he was talking about Jews until after the election.
The state's Republican Party says it wants nothing to do with him and declined to speak with us on camera.
It should be a wake-up call.
It's you know what's ironic about it is that both the guys are wearing Vietnam veteran hats. So you know I don't know what branch they were in, but it's a good possibility
They're mentally unstable.
Well, not that so much, but that they both were barracked up with black soldiers and soldiers, Puerto Rican soldiers, Mexican
who were
soldiers.
all drugged out or something,
Or
and so now they
were
just
all-
have this hatred for him.
That's not what I'm saying. I mean, you these were your brothers on these guys.
So
had
why would
your
they
back.
hate? Why
so
would
why
they
would
hate
you
them?
exactly? Why would you hate them? That's
Oh,
what's,
that's
that's
what
what's
you're saying.
ironic.
Got it.
You know,
got it.
you were on the field
If
with them.
anyone is gonna like each other, it's Vietnam vets.
I
Because they
mean,
all went through the shit together.
They went through the shit together.
That's-
But
okay, I
they
get
come
it,
back and you know maybe because they came back. I don't know.
Maybe they didn't go to Vietnam.
I mean, why didn't they call the guy a Nazi? I don't know why they didn't call him a Nazi anymore. But it's.
Well, do you consider white nationalists Nazis? Do
Uh,
you think that's Nazi by
yeah,
another name?
That is. I mean, that's what a Nazi is.
Now, my last question, unless you have other things you want to talk about for this particular thing.
I mean, it's scary. It is scary that there are people getting 20,000 people might not have been enough for him to win. But
He's going to be on the ticket.
But and someone that
getting
doesn't-
on the ticket is one step. If you don't know his background, you're
yeah,
like, oh, this
exactly.
guy's
You don't
he's
even know anybody.
Republican.
I mean, there's been times where I vote for people just because of their name, and I'm not doing any research.
And their party, or
yeah,
whatever.
I was like, oh, okay, they're part of this party. Who knows?
There's 12 Republicans and 1 Democrat. I'll probably get this one, and he could be a child molester.
Yeah,
never happened,
And
but maybe you never know.
You never know. I mean, I think the 20,000 people voted for this guy. That's a lot of people.
I mean, it's not a lot relative to the population of the whole country,
still
but a lot. It might be a lot for this district.
I mean, it's in the microcosm of things, you know.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
If we had 20,000 views on this video, it'd be a good day.
Absolutely,
good day.
That'd be a great video.
Well, my question is though, do you feel like they should be allowed to run? Because there's a freedom where you should be able to be a part of any party you want, but the asterisk here is, we fought against the Nazis to rid them off the face of the earth. That was because it was so fucking evil. We went to war with them. So should they be allowed to run? If there was some non-hostile ISIS members in here, would we allow them to run for office? And is it the same or not?
Well, I'm going to tell you why they shouldn't be able to run. Not because of the parties or anything, but because...
Well, the history was my argument.
Well, not even the history. That's not the issue. The issue is that the issue is that they're running on propaganda of hate speech, and that hate speech is illegal.
Oh, how we're saying we're better than so and so.
Yeah, like everything they're saying is hate speech, and that's not protected by the First Amendment. Like that's the gray area. Well, it's not even a gray area. That's pretty clear. You can't use
Well, the white guy got a hate speech felony. He didn't even call her a fucking wetback or anything. He didn't go there.
No.
He just said
implied it.
You don't belong
He just
in my
implied
country.
it. I mean, there you go right there. That guy's gonna go to prison because of using hate speech.
Or he can do it. He has the right to do it, but you're gonna suffer the consequences.
Well, if you get a felony, you don't have the right to do it.
Well, you can do it. No one's gonna kill you. That when I personally feel like if they'll kill you over it, you can't do it.
Right.
Murder being an example. If you kill someone in the right state, you're gonna die, which to me means you can't do it. That's the ultimate.
Yeah.
Like in some countries. Well, I'm just saying. There's
no. I know. There's
certain countries.
There's definitely a difference. Like the First Amendment rights we have here are not speaking against the government. That's all you really get protected. You can go out and protest the government. What we're doing, if we talk shit about Trump, we can call Trump all kinds of shit that we want.
Cock.
Yeah, he's a cuck, a cocksucker, whatever you want to call him, a piece of shit. We won't get in trouble with that. Like the government can't come to the house and arrest us for that. That's what the First Amendment is. But then you get to another level. The hate speech is not protected.
So you think that's
they
clean that up though? If they were actually the white nationalist movement, which is not Nazis.
If they were somehow able to like change their rhetoric, how would they get people to? I mean, I'm sure there's somebody smart enough to like
twist it
with different rhetoric for it. But
we were here first party.
It's a slippery slope, man. It's one of those things where like,
well, okay, what about ISIS? Since they're like the popular figurehead, it could be any group, any extremist group, the NRA coming here, the mafia.
I think freedom of religion is also a big part of the Constitution. So I feel like
do you think they should be?
I think if you're running on a ticket where you say you're going to change stuff because of religion, because I feel like that's a big part of it's radical Islam, so they would want Sharia law, and you're saying you're going to change laws to support this religion. I feel like that wouldn't hold up either.
Separation of church and state.
Exactly.
Right?
There's that thing that we have going on as well. So I feel like there's like you'd have to be really good and really manipulate.
So they should be banned then because of hate speech, or if you're trying to influence the government via religion.
You gotta.
But that's hypocritical because all of our policies are Christian based.
You gotta. Well, I mean,
kind of.
People would argue that the founding fathers were very not.
No, but I'm saying now, Roe v. Wade, the abortion thing, that's a religious thing, gay rights.
Right.
Marijuana legalization.
Right. That's also one of those things where, well, no, marijuana wasn't illegal when the founding fathers signed the Constitution.
I'm just saying.
That the marijuana laws are like anti-Mexican laws because at the time all the weed was coming in from Mexico.
Sure, but I'm talking about
that was a racist law.
The war on drugs too is like this. It's race-based.
Yeah, the war on drugs. All these policies happened in the 1960s. These are all pretty new. The marijuana was like in the 1920s or 1930s. There's that movie Reefer Madness.
Yep.
It's around that era. You have, the war on drugs. LSD used to be legal. Cocaine used to be legal. All these drugs used to be legal, and they became illegal like from the 1960s on. So these are like fairly new policies.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. But anyway, you get my point.
Yeah.
I think there is a
I
religious
think
foundation.
At some certain level, you have to like. I'm going to disagree with the religious thing because the Pledge of Allegiance under God was added in the 1950s because of the like anti the Red Scare.
So you don't think it was that the Puritan belief system was a part of this country?
No, I don't think so.
So you really think there was a time? So when the Republicans, who are the religious people,
now
ironically, technically, if you're for what that conservative values are, you should be more for free religion, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't give a fuck.
No, if you're running on the basis of what our forefathers, the founding fathers, and
it's kind of an anarchist society.
Yeah, like the religion has nothing to do with it. I feel like they were very clear with that idea. And there's obviously certain policies like they were okay with slavery. That stuff, whatever.
What Abraham Lincoln said was true. He only wanted to free the blacks in order to help them win the Civil War.
The Civil War had more to do with the economy more than anything else because the South was gathering so much power because they had control. Free labor, and they had control. Like you could only grow the crops down there. They had to ship everything up north, so it was very economic. I mean, it's a lot deeper than just anti-slavery, it's yeah. The free speech thing, it drives me crazy. Like I watched a video with Steven Crowder. Where he's like, he goes to the Democratic convention and he like tries to talk to Democrats about stuff, and they'll say stuff like, people in these other countries are living better, and the only point that he comes back with is, well, in other countries you don't have freedom of speech. You know, that's his first point. That's the only selling point you have that America is better than other countries is the freedom of speech thing. They come at you with health care. They come at you with, you know, higher wages.
I think it depends on where you're coming from, though.
You know,
I think freedom of free speech.
I think if you're a politician, yeah, that might suck. But I feel like most people don't use their.
Well, but let's say you're from Turkey, you can't criticize the president, or Russia right now. You can't criticize the president.
I wouldn't want to live in Turkey or Russia.
I'm just saying, but if
people, those aren't the
no,
countries,
that's not what I'm saying.
But those aren't the countries that people use as a maybe I want to live there.
That's why I said it depends on where you're coming from. Because if I was that guy, like if I was a third party, let's say I'm Turkish, Steven Crowder's there, and this other guy is trying to convince, like they're having that discussion you're saying right now, and then Steven Crowder says free speech, and you're there is like, is that really the thing? The Turkish guy might say, yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, he's going to say, well, in my country, you'll get killed if you say something against the president.
And then Steven Crowder would say, exactly, see?
Okay, and then I would say, well, I didn't say Turkey, did I? I didn't mention Turkey one time. I wouldn't live in Russia.
I'm just saying.
It's just such a shitty, you just made Steven Crowder's point even shittier because we're not talking about those
all I
countries
said was it depends on where you're coming from. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that guy from Turkey who's here in the States, the States are better for him than Turkey is.
Or the people who came from Iran, they fled from
people from Iran.
And then Russia as well.
Those people they've never lived in other countries. This all comes down to, this is something I say, unless you live in another country and you can actually compare them, you can't say what country is better.
No, not me, but you can
and I think most conservatives, the really pro-American guys that say America is the best, are people that haven't even gone on vacation to other places.
I haven't.
You know what I mean?
But anyway, let's finish with this. This is the last thing, unless there's something else that you had that I'm not aware of. Bring up the last article. So this details, this is about consent. It's a question of, does consent apply to non-living entities? So this article is about a sex doll that has been programmed to say no when he or she is no longer in the mood for you to stick it in them. So yeah, ethically, what do you feel like? Is it rape?
I think this is.
Is it rape?
I think it's you know what you're doing is you're creating.
You can
rape.
take the article down.
You're creating rape.
Because they don't have an option, but you're presenting one?
Yeah, now you're giving the person who owns the robot an option of raping the robot. And now maybe they're playing out their rape fantasy on this thing now.
And this is a way for like a backdoor rape
fantasy?
fantasy?
I think this is stupid, you know, like somebody actually thinking about the robots.
But how would you
Is it supposed to be a tool? Is it supposed to be like, oh, this is how you learn consent, guys? Samantha, the sex robot, doesn't feel like having sex with you.
But how is that enough?
She's not obligated.
Would you make the sex vagina do something?
I have no idea. Like now
would you like make the sex vagina so hot that if you stuck your dick in it, it would like melt it?
So that it has an anti-rape mechanism?
Yeah.
No, because you get sued. I bought this robot. The robot burned my dick. You know, there's no rules. The robot doesn't have rights. It's not.
What if it gets really dry? Like no matter how much lube you put in, it just sucks it up.
I feel like this is like too much.
Or the vagina gets so wide that no matter how big your dick is, it's just not going to feel good.
It's the point. It's getting to a point with this thing. Like, what's the point of even owning this thing? You know.
I think there's steps. Honestly,
I'm going to go and get my fleshlight.
Do you think the sex robot creator's ultimate goal is to get a fully AI system?
I mean, he might be trying to. You know, this might be Skynet.
Do you think sex robots create Skynet and not like Elon Musk?
It could be, man. That could
like
be.
They're like, oh, the computers are getting better. Oh, I can make my sex robot better.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
it just goes out of control.
The sex robot goes online. It turns it on.
The sex robots are
it starts jerking people off.
It's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a fucking sex robot. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think
jerking people off and then
like
ripping dicks off.
I actually really feel like the designer of this thinks that his product is an actual person.
There's a fucking Netflix documentary about it.
He spent too much time with this robot.
It's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
If you watch this Netflix documentary about it, I forget what it's called, but
dude, full disclosure, I have never used any weird stuff.
I've never even seen one in real life.
To pleasure myself. Like I don't own a fleshlight. I mean, I used to make tons of fleshlight jokes, but that shit that's weird. You know what I mean?
I don't think a fleshlight's weird. I've never used one, but I don't think so. If
he's never used one,
I want to buy one. I want to try it, but I've never used it. I'm not gonna lie, but a sex doll I think would be too. Or you know what the weird one is? Because I feel like a sex doll kind of makes sense because it's supposed to be a full human.
The torso,
just the ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one where I'm like, what? And you have to put in water. You have to like heat the water up so it'll be warm. I may or may not have read into like how they work.
Too many steps for me and too much information. But
especially if you're living with someone.
Yeah.
If you're not living with anybody and you're by yourself and you don't have a lot of company.
You got to be real lonely to own these things, I think.
Well, I don't know. Sex dolls, you can just make them. You can deflate them. You can deflate Susie or Patty, whatever her name is. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think, yeah, that's the next step that I've never had to get to. But anyways, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching. If you haven't watched our other reaction hour videos, make sure to check out the older reaction hour videos. And tomorrow, be on the lookout for our review of Secret Superstar. Oh, next week, Comic-Con. Be on the lookout for Comic-Con videos and a podcast with Blacker Than Black times Infinity. We're going to meet up with a couple of guys at Comic-Con and have a good time. But we will see you next time.